Hey guys, Mokomi here. Today I'm going to be going over some tips and tricks that you can use in Age of Empires 4 in order to play faster and more efficiently. One trick you can do in the early game is hotkey however many villagers you're going to age up with, in this case 4. I'm going to put them on control group 2. And then when you're scouting around collecting sheep and you realize you're about ready to age up, you can double tap that hotkey and then right click the TC and then shift right click to move them to where you're going to build a landmark and then build it. That way you don't have to sit here trying to like click in like a short amount of time, because every second you waste after you have the resources age up is a time delaying your age up. And also important to note is that you should always shift click the villagers on the landmark to what they're going to do next. In this case, like shift click the sheep or to gold or to wood or whatever, depending on your build. Another trick is that when a mining node is about to run out, you can select all the villagers in a mining camp and then shift click to build the camp. And as soon as the gold runs out, the villagers will all do their last drop off and then go and build the new camp. This way you can do it ahead of time when nothing's going on, and that way you have no downtime as soon as the node is finished. So you're front loading this action when you have free time in order to not have to do it at the critical moment. You can also apply this to different forms of food gathering or straggler tree chopping, where before the food runs out, let's say on this boar, you could, let's say, go to the deer after. So build the mill with the shift queued command, and as soon as the boar runs out, the villagers will automatically drop off and run there and build the mill and start gathering from the nearby food. As you can see here, the boar runs out, they turn in, and they all immediately go there to build the mill. This also works for straggler trees, where you can shift queue the commands, where as soon as they're done with one tree, they'll go to the next. This will help prevent your villagers from going idle if the next straggler tree is not in range of the first one. You can also do this with the TC rally, where you can rally onto one tree, hold shift, and then right click on the next one. I like to do this with all the straggler trees and then also queue it to the wood line I'm going to go on after. This way I can do this ahead of time and not have to worry about them randomly going idle when I'm busy doing other things. For speed and efficiency, an important thing is knowing hotkeys, especially for commonly built buildings such as house and mill and lumber camp, mining camp. You want to be able to, you do not want to be clicking these as they are done way too often, and every time you use a hotkey, you're just doing it that much faster. A good tool for this is the Aegis tool, which I'll link in the description from that's on the AoE4 World website, where it will basically test you with different hotkeys of buildings to help you practice and get muscle memory for them. Another micro trick to help you along is to shift queue relics ahead of time. So once you're in the castle age and have a monastery building, you can take the monastery, right click here, hit your either click on the minimap back to the monastery or use the focus camera hotkey if you have one set, and then shift right click to the monastery. And then you shift right click here and do the same thing again, go back, and that. This way you can queue it so that the next monk that comes out will follow and pick up this relic and drop it off, then pick up this relic and drop it off. So this will save you time. And you do not have to wait for the monk to finish. You can just set the rally point ahead of time, and then when a monk is done, it will follow your set of commands. I like to do that for each relic. I usually, in a game, I would maybe queue one to do these two, and then I would reset the rally and do it with the next two. Or you can just do one at a time as well. An important hotkey to note is the return all villagers to work from Seek Shelter. This is by default Control Shift R. And essentially what this does is all workers that are seeking shelter, you can globally send them back to work without selecting the building that they're garrisoned in. So for instance, let's say you're getting raided in multiple spots and all your workers are idle here. Instead of clicking each building and doing D like I see some people do, you can hit this hotkey anywhere, Control-Shift-R, and they will all go back to work. Which would save you a lot of clicks and a lot of time. So you do that again. So if everything's garrisoned with G, and let's say you're raiding, okay, the knight was cleaned up, Control-Shift-R, everything's back. The other way to do this is using the town center. So in the town center, there's a return all to work button right here, hotkey C. So if you press this button, everyone will go back to work. And the important thing about these two hotkeys is that including villagers that haven't garrisoned yet, let's say, you know, like they're walking to a garrison point that's far away, like these two villagers here, it still works on them. So if I press C, they go back to work. So that helps if you're garrisoning and then have to ungarrison really quickly. And that just saves you so many actions, so much time, and will help prevent you from having workers go idle for longer than they need to. Another action that can help save APM and time for you is for capturing sacred sites. They added in a feature where if you right-click with a monk in the center, it will go to capture the site, and you can actually shift queue multiple sites by shift right-clicking, and it will, the monk will wait until it captures it and then move on to the next one. So you don't have to babysit it as much, and you can just queue your monk to capture all the sites one by one. Another trick to help with walling large sections of the map at once is utilizing the right click in order to build multiple segments back to back without having to hit the wall hotkey again. So to demonstrate, if you hit your hotkey Q X to start a wall like this, hold down shift and then place the first part of the wall. Now, if I want to build another wall here between these wood lines, I mean, you see right here, to go through the trees, you'd have to cancel it, right? However, you can actually just right-click. While still holding shift, you can right-click, and it will, like, start a new segment. So then I can do this, while still holding shift, build this. Okay. Now, potentially, you can just continue here from this anchor point, or you can right-click again to start a new segment. So if I right-click, and just hold shift the whole time, and just keep doing this. Build, right-click. Build with left-click, and then right-click. So you can do this to do a lot of smaller wall segments and build the wall that you want to build a lot faster. So I hope all these tips and tricks will help you in your gameplay and help you play at a faster and more efficient level than before. If you have any other ideas on things I should cover or things I missed, please leave a comment letting me know. And also, if you have any ideas for future videos, please let me know. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button.